issue of the Rwandan genocide is growing at a rapid pace. The important and terrifying dilemma has become an issue and now impossible to ignore. It needs to be stopped as soon as possible. In case you didn't already know the issue, here's Khalil to fill you in with the subject.
Rwanda genocide is becoming a rapidly increasing problem. Rwanda, a small country located in Central Africa, is inhabited by two ethnic groups, the Hutus and the Tutsis. While the Hutus make up 90% of the population, the Tutsis, who make up less than 10% of the population, was granted power by Belgium. This built-up tension and power imbalance led to a long, ongoing civil war. It wasn't until the Hutu president was shot out of his plane and that chaos broke loose and the genocide killing the Tutsis began.
Thank you, Khalil. Currently, no one is trying to stop the genocide, not the U.S. nor Asia, but there's an organization trying to stop it as we speak. It's called the UN Peacekeeping Force, which is an organization that tries to stop worldwide problems.
The Peacekeeping Force is devised of India, Rwanda, Nigeria, Nepal, Jordan, and Egypt. But even with the UN helping, they cannot really do much without supplies from neighboring countries. Since there's no one was coming to aid them, they have decided to end the genocide themselves and currently fighting back with a little help from the UNPK. Up close look at the event in Rwanda. Here's our reporters live on the site.
Hello, we're here today live from the country of Rwanda to give an exclusive glimpse of what conditions are like right now.
Hospitals and places like that once thought would be safe are now being destroyed by bombings and boom!
Food is hard to obtain due to the failing economy, and many are going hungry. This terrible genocide must come to an end soon.
Interesting. Now back to the station. Here's an exclusive interview with Aaron talking to a brave survivor from the genocide, Lucy.
Lucy, have you had to change your religion, customs, and ways of life to survive the genocide?
My religion has not yet been taken, but most of my rights have been stolen from me.
Lucy, what are the living conditions like during these terrible times?
The living conditions are very hard. My children were killed during this genocide, and food is hard to come by, and the economy is doing very, very much hard right now, and it's terrible. Very, very bad living condition.
Hello, I'm Annalise, and as you can see by this graph, the Rwanda genocide doesn't look like anything compared to the other genocides, but it is the most recent genocide, and we believe that it is going to be the deadliest genocide of the 20th.
It's an exclusive interview with the Hutu general Lasan Hamara.
I'm Annalise, and I'm here to interview Hamara Hassan, a former leader of Rwanda, and we're here to talk about the genocide.
One of the main causes of the genocide was the imbalance in power between the Tutsis and the Hutus. When the Hutu president was assassinated, the genocide began.
Why do you think the Tutsis were targeted?
The Hutus seemed to want some kind of revenge on the Tutsis for having power over them for so long.
How's the government trying to stop this?
Many government officials are being killed every day, and it's making it hard to deal with this terrible genocide.
How's propaganda influencing the genocide?
Rwandan media is playing a large part in encouraging the genocide. Many gender-targeted attacks are happening, and there's a lot of propaganda towards Tutsi women.
Hi, I'm Mary Omadjian, and I have a picture here of propaganda. Propaganda was extremely influential of the genocide. It was usually used to dehumanize the Tutsis, and especially the women. It showed them as not very educated, and they treated them as if they were like not human beings at all.
The news report of the genocide is quickly spreading throughout Rwanda by the mass radio reports, magazines, and newspapers. The dehumanization toward Tutsis became a common practice, and the propaganda against Tutsi women as was frequently as well. This led to a surge of brutally gender targeting attack towards the Tutsi women and even some moderate Hutu leaders.
Now here's the point of view from everyone in the group.
The Rwandan genocide was a terrible event, and precautions must be taken to make sure this doesn't happen again.
This genocide was a horrible act against all the Tutsis out there in Rwanda. If the Hutus never thought of you shooting on the president, why did they accuse you for something that you may have not did?
I think the Rwandan genocide was a horrible event, and I hope it doesn't happen again. And I feel really bad for the Tutsis, and I wish America would have done something about it and sent troops to aid and do stuff about it.
I agree with everybody else, but I think that it was especially bad because just like one tiny group of people were targeted, and it was like for no reason. Like the president just like was shot out of his plane, and why didn't they just like re-elect a president like a regular civilization would, like America? I like pretty much agree with everybody. I think the U.S. should have helped and everything, and I think that it was just like really horrible.
I think the Rwanda genocide was a horrible thing, and the fact that over 800,000 innocent people were killed in only 100 days is pretty crazy and unfair, all just because of the president getting shot down. Yes, that is a horrible thing, but you shouldn't be killing innocent people. You should just like re-elect another president, and then also like America and Asia should have sent helpers to aid them and help the dying people. So yeah, it's like horrible.
The Rwandan genocide is a very horrible experience for many people, and I don't think that it was a good reason to kill many people. Like Emily said, and other people said, how it was just wasn't civilized. And I think that especially how there was propaganda going against other, like the innocent people, and they just should have been helped more. And
Good luck to all you people in Rwanda.
Hopefully help is on its way soon.
be grateful for what you have in America.
Good night, America.
And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Later.
Okay, ready?
The news of the genocide spread quickly. The magazines. If you didn't already know, the issue here is Khalil to help to.
What? What's recording?
It's recording?
Yeah.
It's recording.